Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and today we're starting a series covering the game Axel and Pixel, in which an artist gets sucked into his own painting's world. Here we can see that it's a little bit scary looking here, but mostly I think this is a pretty simple point-and-click adventure game. Got this mustache tree that's behind him, and then this sneering fox-like creature. The only thing you can do on this main screen is change the languages, so I kind of wonder why it's even here. It seems like this was probably released on consoles, but it doesn't have controller support, and for a point-and-click adventure game, I don't think a controller support really helps anything anyways. So away he gets sucked, well, they get sucked into the game. There's a couple of weird things that we need to point out. First of all, there's mini games we're going to unlock, so we don't really need to look at them right now, but it's kind of weird. There's leaderboards, which means there's actually a score system, and there must be a maximum score, because when I go back with the right click of the mouse, which is also weird, and click on the achievements, points in paint, complete the story mode with a score of 42,000 points. We just look at the leaderboards here. The highest in the world is 43,242. That seems strange, unless there's something more. No, this is story overall. The other thing we'll point out here is that while this seems like it's a small team that made the game, not a tiny team, but just a small team, it did get published or created via 2K Play, which 2K Interactive is a big old conglomerate, so that's kind of strange too. We'll look at the credits later and see just how small it is. Here you have actions, sounds, that you're hearing a lot of sounds when you highlight something. And here you have the music. I've turned it really low because that's often how it ends up needing to be balanced for my recording. Here you have the resolution that you can just click here to change it. By default it was at 1080p for me, and 4 times anti-aliasing. And it's kind of interesting because when you click on this, it gives you this this pop-up just to tell you, and then this would be the apply button, but not very informative. This is way too artsy of a menu. You barely even see some of this, and to turn up the volume you have to be on like the right side of a bar and just click once to go up one musical note, and if you turn it down you have to be on the left side of the bar and click once. It's not very helpful. Controls, furthermore, the mouse playing will be fine, but if you didn't have a mouse for some reason, you would certainly have to go through a few different controls here to zoom in and zoom out, use an item with the spacebar and move the cursor with the keyboard arrows. That would take a long time. And then how to play. Do we really need to know how to play a point-and-click adventure game? Not really. Axel and Pixel is an adventure game with riddles and mini-games. Find hidden spots on the screen to help painter Axel and his dog Pixel to escape from the mysterious dream world. You control the magic cursor with your mouse movement or by the cursor keys. As soon as you find an interesting spot with the cursor, it changes color. At that moment, press the left mouse button on the spacebar to see what happens. I already hate this cursor, by the way, because there's no telling like where the exact pixel point is that your cursor is at, where the center is. So can I highlight next page right now? No, it's not until I get to about there that it changes. And then I assume what they're doing, and the reason for this, and it's probably not a great reason, is that they're making it the cursor a lot bigger, so there's less hunt and pecking of the mouse cursor trying to find things to click on. You can enlarge the screen by holding the right mouse button or the control key to display the inventory by pressing the Alt key. Items in the inventory automatically are used automatically, so you don't have to select them. See the controls menu for other details. Some mini games have special controls, hints will appear to tell you what to do. If you have any difficulty, hold the F1 key at any time for a clue. You have 3 clues for each level, but use them wisely. Use fewer clues to earn more points for leaderboards, achievements, or to unlock bonus mini games. So all the achievements are visible by default, so you already know what you're trying to do is basically beat the game without using very many hints and getting a score over 42,000. Axel lives to paint. Search for interesting things for Axel to sketch in colors. For his palette, these sketches result in a painting of your journey through the dream world. The more thoroughly you search individual scenarios, the better painting Axel will create. So it's kind of a hidden object game too. And that's all there is to know. Except for if you look at the achievement over here. Why did the audio restart? Dog's dinner, find all bones. That is something we're going to look for. Complete the masterpiece, complete the winter season, and defeat the ice giant. Well, I guess that spoils any idea of any surprise there. Complete several seasons, which there's 4 seasons plus the first chapter. Now, if I recall correctly, I kept putting off playing this game because it was not quite finished. And they kept saying, well, the next part will come, but not an issue now. The game, as far as I understand, is completely done. Score over 1,000 points in each of the 3 mini games. Complete the story under 20 helps and get over 42,000 points. And that's a long setup, I know, but we can now jump in the game and be fully informed. Let's listen. Frowny faced snowman over there with a hot water bottle on his head, and then a very fat rabbit. No choice for subtitles, but he may not actually say anything in the entire game. Fat dog. Maybe it's an animation style. Fat rat. Everybody except for the painter is fat. So he has to get over the bridge to get the key. Look out in the back, there's the big monster character. And there's the troll character. A weasel. I don't know what you'd call it actually. So he is just making gibberish sounds. Axel and Pixel awaken the dream world. The evil rat holds back home. Help Axel and Pixel catch him before winter returns and freezes this dream over forever. We already looked at the controls, so we can just go ahead and skip through this and go to this point. So they were gonna force us to see the instructions anyways. It's a slightly weird section to scroll in different places. Like when I'm seeing a glint in the screen, that's not always equating to something. And it seems like you can't just go back in the house. And in the real world, the rat was the person who put us to sleep. Okay. So we've got to get the dog to walk in that. And if I want to zoom in, I can. But I really doubt that we're going to have any issue finding anything once we start actually playing the game. So the reason why I wanted to cover this is there's a bone. There are 19 others. Try the bones hidden throughout the game. Try to find them all. And I can't search there a second time. After, I guess I could see my score somehow? No? This is weird. There's like the middle mouse button doesn't seem to scroll or do anything. So it seems like my score will only show up when it changes. And I'm at 50 now. I suppose I'm looking for 5 bones per level, or 4 bones per level. Yeah, if there's 5 levels, yeah, that'd be 4 bones per level. Go ahead and hit this. But yeah, I really wanted to cover something that was a little bit more simplistic. We've done Broken Sword 1 and 2, and the remakes and the remasters of those are not as good as the originals. We've played several games that have required using the Scum VM emulator to get them to run at all. This runs perfectly fine out of the box on a Windows 10 PC, or at least my Windows 10 PC. This is a very modern but simplistic for young kids game, point and click adventure. Something just a little different. It's also not part of any big series, so it's not like there's going to be an Axel and Pixel 4, 5, and 6 that shows up. Maybe in a couple years Axel and Pixel 2 comes out, but that's it. So let's see, the Iron Giant is blocking out the sun. Help Axel move him to bring spring to the dream world. So I moved that, and then he moved that. So what's he gonna do? I just clicked on something. And what, he throws a snowball at him? React quickly and press the correct buttons to defeat the ice giant. Oh, is this a mini game already? Right. Apparently right buttons means the actual controller. So you can't just play with the mouse. You've got to play with the keyboard and mouse. So I'm now kind of awkwardly playing with the keyboard in my left hand. Fortunately, that wasn't that difficult. Well, normally on the keyboard I would have my right hand on the cursor, then the what do you call them, the arrow keys. And we're in a very small section because there's really nothing here to do besides this. And they threw a little bit of extra effort necessary to melt this. But there's very few to interact with. See, we just wait till that's there, and then we click that, and Axel didn't actually move. And so we're into the next section. But I'm not sure how far this is going to go, because this is one of the screenshots from the very beginning. Well, one of the screenshots on Steam, so I'm not sure if it's going to turn out that there's almost nothing more. And these rabbits are going to be everywhere. Let's see, I want to look to see if there's any paint things I can add. I don't want to mess up and miss things. But although, for as simplistic and easy as this game is, and I already know it's going to be pretty short. So, I did find something. So he paints a bigger painting, and that's nice. He sketches. Axel drew his first sketch. Find 7 more beautiful vistas from the sketch throughout the dream world. View Axel's painting by pressing the escape key. To enter the pause menu and then select view painting. So if I go over here to escape and then let's see, view painting, we can see there's 7 more of them. And is that 7 more in chapter 1? I'm not sure. And that still doesn't really show you the... I suppose we could walk here. I wonder why that's specifically something you could do. Well, the game didn't say that you got points for doing every action. It specifically said you would get points for and see, now we've got all these rabbits everywhere. And they moved and then they left. And it seems like doesn't seem like there's much more to do. That's pretty funny. See, I don't know why you specifically would put this in a dream world, though. So far. So that fence just became a ladder? It's like you can't do anything with it. Click on the red arrow to continue the journey. Don't rush off, though. You might miss something interesting. Alright. So that part in particular, I think is going to be a problem. We're going to have to decide, have we done everything here? Have we looked at everything here? Or are we done? It doesn't seem like the game is going to give us the opportunity to walk back and forth, which is something you see in most point-and-click adventure games. Is usually you can walk back and forth into the vast majority of the areas and go find things you may have missed. Achievement earned, good start. So we've got bees and we've got some kind of small creature over here. And we've got somebody over here. And I suppose a lot of this is really just hover. Okay, so the bee will stop me. And it seems like the dog wants me to come down this way. You see, there's a fishing rod. And it's really cold water. And let's see, I click on something and something happens. Even though I'm not really certain why or what. I guess there's a finger that will change things. And a hand that tells that he has to actually have physical access to touch. Alright.
Woohoo!
And so now he's got a fish. And the fish apparently I've made a glider. Actually, can't cancel your actions either. Interesting. I didn't know I needed a paddle. I was gonna come over there and just try to battle try the boat. Right. But I've got to look everywhere. Now I've heard people say it was simple puzzles, and it does so far seem like mostly like simple puzzles. But I could also see people making the mistake of thinking it was simplistic even because they skipped the bones and they didn't do any of the extra things that are possible to be done. Let's go ahead and make more of these plants grow. Alright. And so I made the tree grow, and then that's another scenic vista I can paint. And so if that's the case, then I probably am gonna go ahead and just assume that that's what's going on. And see, there's 39. I don't know what 39 means. Am I on a timer? That would be amazingly silly. Let's see. So we turn this on, and then we do this. And he eats this, and we turn this off. I'm confused as to what's going on here. There's a 3, 4, 5 click combination going on here. Axel's recover the paint tube. He will need 7 more to color his painting. View Axel's painting by pressing the escape key. We already know about that. And see, now it's been 33. See, I don't know if my score is going up per level or what, but notice we can't go back. And I'm pretty certain there's more here. That if there isn't more here, that you run into this issue in which the game is actually wasting a lot of your, well, a lot of his own resources. Let's see, I just don't... And see, it seems like I can irritate the bee as much as I want. And there's 3 things here, but... It's like, start this, click on this, click on this. Well, I guess at this point I have to just admit defeat on the level. If there is actually more to do in this scene, I don't see it. We're all over here, and just doesn't seem like there is. So, how many more scenes are there in the entire game if that quickly it throws me through 2 of them? That could be quite a lot or not that many, really. Anyways, I guess we can view the painting, and so we now see the paint tubes on the painting. So we need 7 sketches and 7 paint tubes, which probably tells me there's only 7 in the entire first section. But then there's also an issue here. This says Spring Chapter 3 already. Are we already very, very close to the end of the game? Really? We've only been playing for 30 minutes. That can't be right. It really cannot be right. Well, we'll have to find out more, as much more as we can figure out, at least in the next recording. That's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, click the bell next to the subscribe button to get notifications, and comment and watch every second of my videos, because all of that helps me with Facebook. If you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down in the description. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.